Heavenly Father, we come to you in this hour, asking for your guidance and protection to our virtual gathering today. We thank you for the gift of life, the gift of family, the gift of work, and the gift of friendship. We thank you for this great opportunity to bring us together in this session as brothers and sisters. Bless the committee, the facilitator, and the attendees of this gathering. May we continue to value and appreciate the true essence and meaning of life with the help of your grace. And as we go along to our discussion today, we humbly pray that you would deepen our understanding. Lord, enlighten us and give us wisdom every day. Forgive us for our shortcomings and remind us to always be mindful of the things we do in life. We offer our life and our decisions to you, O Lord. May this gathering today create a memorable experience and a fruitful outcome. We ask this through our Lord Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and our Savior. Amen.
Good day, everyone, from the Office of Soul. I am Fredly Bukog, your training specialist from the office. So before we begin this session, let me remind you to please mute your microphone, rename your Zoom name to your complete name and department so that we can identify you. Switch on your video if your connectivity allows you. If you have any questions with regards to the presentation, there will be an open forum right after. Please type it in the chat box or use the raise hand in Zoom reactions button and unmute yourself. Before leaving the session, do not forget to fill out the survey. The survey link will be shown later. This will serve in giving your certificate of attendance and participation. By the way, the session is video recorded. Recordings will be made available at the Silliman Online University Learning website and in our YouTube channel. Just search Silliman Online University Learning, then kindly subscribe to it so that you can watch other previous e-trainings that we have conducted. Today, we will have an interesting topic to talk uh, uh, about utilizing mySOUL app. Our trainer for this session is Mr. Jade Montemayor, the web admin of mySOUL at the Office of Silliman Online University Learning. Let's give him our virtual applause. Sir Jade, the virtual floor is yours.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. I hope you can hear me. Can you give me a virtual thumbs up if you can hear me? All right, thank you so much. Okay, so welcome to today's session. So basically our topic for this afternoon is how do we utilize mySOUL app, or basically the name of the application is not the mySOUL application, but it's an open LMS application. So open LMS is our provider for our LMS. So we are only subscribing the application from Open LMS. Before we start, if you could give me a virtual thumbs up, have you tried using Open LMS app? For those who have tried, can you please give me a virtual thumbs up? Okay, we have Mamay pa. We have Sir Larry, of course. We have Sir Larry here. Okay. So I guess in terms of the result, a majority of us haven't tried using the app. So the app is basically just in terms of the looks, it's more or less different from the usual uh, Soul or mySOUL platform. But in terms of usage, or I mean, in terms of the functions, it's more or less the same, right? So first is how do we avail the app? We have two main platforms, right? We have Android and we have iOS. So currently, the device that I will be using throughout the training will be an iOS device, but I guess it will be just the same. In terms of how the button looks like, what are the arrangement of the platforms? I guess it's the same with Android. Okay, so how do we download the application? That will be our first objective, downloading the application. So if you are an user or if you're an Android user, you just have to go to the App Store. For Android, you have to go to Google App Store, and then for iOS devices, you just have to go to the App Store. So let me just share my screen, right? Okay. Okay. So there you go. I hope you can see my screen now. I will be showing you how to download the application. Okay. So for iOS users, you just have to go to App Store, right? So here I will click App Store, and usually you're in the home page. So from here, you just have to search for Open LMS. Okay, just search for Open LMS. So this is our provider. And the very top result, just click that. And this will be the application, the one with like an infinity symbol. So that's the official app. So the top result would be the Open Dash LMS application, and it says the official app for Open LMS. So for those of you who haven't installed the app yet, on the right side, for at least in my device, I already installed the application, so it says Open. But for those who haven't installed the app yet, it would say Get, right? So you just have to click Get, and then it will basically download the application. In terms of downloading the application, it would not take that long because the application is not that, in terms of size, it's not that big. Okay, so I'm going to open the application now. So there you go. This is the very first, like the first page upon opening the application. So you will be asked for the campus website or our Open LMS or our mySOUL website, right? Now, there are two ways in terms of logging into the platform. The first one is you're going to encode the actual site, and the second one is you're going to scan a QR code. How does QR code works? Later on, I will show you how to log in using the QR code. But first, we're going to log in using the manual login, right? So first is we have to encode, or we have to type in this site or our site, which is soul.su.edu.ph. So I'm going to type soul.su.edu.ph. By the way, if you have question, just feel free to raise your hands or just write it down in the chat box, or you can just turn on your mics at any time. That would be okay. So your site will be soul.su.edu.ph. That ph. And then you simply click the connect to your site, and then you have the soul.su.edu.ph option, right? So you have to tap it, and it says loading. So it says you need to log into the site in a browser window for you to continue. So on this part, you just simply tap OK, and then it will redirect you to the default browser of your website. So in my case, it's the Safari. For the first time user, you might be asked to log in using your credentials. So most of us, you can use your Google login, or if you have a username and password, you can also do that. But in my case, since I already logged into my browser, so here I have a pop-up message that says open this page in Open LMS app. So I have cancel and open, so I just have to tap open. So there you go. That's how you log in to the application. So it's that easy. So first is you have to go to the App Store. You have to download the Open LMS app. So I have to go back here. This is the icon of the Open LMS app. Here at the lower right corner of my applications, I have the Open LMS. And then to eventually sign in, you just have to encode the, the site, which is soul.su.edu.ph, and then just sign in using your Google credentials. So from here, you have two main tabs. You have the site home, which is the current view, wherein you can see the um, the homepage of the Soul website, and then you have the site news. So if you want to read the site news of our website or the mySOUL website, then you can just click the site news, and it will eventually show all the site news that were posted in mySOUL. Okay. So let me go back here. So that's the site home. Then the next tab would be the dashboard. Okay. So the dashboard, you can actually click the dashboard at the upper right side corner of your application. So you have here recently accessed courses. So these are your courses. Courses wherein you handle as a teacher and courses that you're enrolled as a student. You can also see your private files in here. And if you have badges, if you receive badges, yeah, you can show it from this page, and the calendar and your timeline. If you have due dates, like you need to grade something, you can actually see it from your dashboard. Okay. So later on, we're going to discuss individually what are the functions for each option, right? So if you take a look at the lower portion, let me just take a screenshot here. Okay. We're going to discuss first all the options that you can see here at the bottom. So if you notice, let's start from the rightmost side. You have the home icon, and then you have the calendar icon, and then you have the messages, the notifications, and other options. So at least those are the things that you can see at the option of the MySOL or the Open LMS app, right? So let me go back here to the app. I'm going to delete the screenshot. So the home page, that would be the current page that we are accessing right now. So as you can see, you can access your courses from this page, recently accessed courses, and then your private files, your badges, and then the calendar and your timeline or your due dates. So that's the home page, kumbaga. Now, the second part would be the calendar. Now, the calendar is very important because you can actually see all the due dates that you have in all your courses. You can also add events if you want to add reminders. So, how do you How do you see if, for example, a particular date has a due date? So if you notice, uh, July 9, I have a red dot, and then 12, there's also a red dot, and 14, 23, and 26, all those dates have red dots on them. So what does it says? Meaning all those dates, let me, for example, I'm just going to click July 12, meaning I have events for this particular date. It means that I have to take the third quarter attendance for a particular subject, the first quarter attendance, and the other first quarter attendance for a particular subject. So I'm basically, I just have to click this event for me to go to that particular activity, right? It says I have to take this particular attendance. And if you really want to go to the activity inside the course, you can just click go to activity, right? So if I'm going to tap go to activity, then it would redirect me to the attendance activity in uh, in the actual website, right? Because I'm just checking the attendance, not taking the attendance. So I'll just go back to the app. So that's how the calendar works. You have to, if you want to check events, let's say if you want to check due dates, for example, if you want to check if there's like a a due date this coming days or this coming weeks or this particular date, then you can just go to the calendar and you can scroll from month to month and then from dates to dates, right? So there you go. If you want, for example, if you want to add an event, let's just say you have an event tomorrow. It can be a midterm exam or it can be uh, a quiz for a particular course. What you can do is on the calendar page, on this page, let's just say tomorrow is 15, right? So you just have to tap 15. And from here, it says there are no events for this particular date because basically 15 is a blank date if we will go back to our calendar. So I'm just going to tap 15. And if you take a look at the lower right side, you have a plus sign with a blue circle, right? Or a blue circle with a plus sign in the middle. So what you can do is just tap that sign. So meaning you're adding an event to this particular date. So what event title, let's just say this is a quiz, okay? And then the date, you can adjust the date from here. So if you want to, let's just say, instead of 15, you want it on the 16th of July or a particular month, you can also adjust. So month is being represented by the second column. You have here 8, meaning that would be August 8. So I'll just retract it back to 15, July 15. And then you have the date here. And of course, you have the time. So the time is being represented by the last two columns, the fourth column would be the hour and the fifth column would be the minute. Okay, so let's just say the alarm would set off at 10 a.m. So there you go. So this is a quiz that will happen at 10 a.m. So I'm going to click done. And then the type of event, is this a course event? Is this a group event? Is this a user event? Meaning a user event is just an event. It's for you. Okay, the group will not be reminded of it. If it's a course event, the entire participant or the entire studentry who are enrolled in this particular course will then be in terms of the calendar, they will also see that particular event. So let's just say this is a course event, right? So from here, it's a course event. Then you're going to choose what course. So in my case, I have these courses available on my end. So let's just say this is a course for, let's just say, PT12 2018A dash lab. So this one. And then that's it. I'm going to click save. So there you go. So I now have a reminder that tomorrow there will be a quiz at 10 a.m. for that particular course. Will my students see it? Of course, they can see it because this is a course. Um, this is a course event, right? Will they be reminded of it? If they have an open LMS app, yes, they will be reminded of it. Okay. So those are some of the functionalities in terms of how the calendar works for Open LMS app. Any question for now? Wala ra? Sige. I hope it's clear. It's like if you've been using the Google Calendar, it's more or less the same. It's just that this one is binded to courses, to your courses in OpenLMS. If you set up an event for a particular course, then of course that event will be posted to your students as well. I have a question from Sir Belvin. Can the app give us notifications? Yes, it can give us notifications. So later on, I will be simulating or I will be showing you how the notification works in the app. Okay? So yes, sir. Yes, it can give us notification. All right. So that's how you use the calendar. You can also use the calendar as a tracker for deadlines. If you have due dates, if you have multiple subjects, I guess most of us has multiple subjects, maybe three or four or more than that. So you can track the due dates using the calendar of your Open LMS app. And what's good about this is that once you open it once, and then for example, you're offline and you want to check some due dates, then you can do that from the Open LMS application. So it doesn't require you to go online just to check a particular due date because you can just open the app in an offline mode and then you can check the calendar, right? So next is the message part. Okay. This is one of the most important function of the app, the message. For example, if teacher A, let's just say we have teacher A and he wants to send a message to student A, and then how will you know that the student is online? Of course, we can see that there's like a green dot. If you take a look at the profile picture of the student, for an instance, you have a green dot at the lower right portion of uh, the picture of the student, meaning it's that the student is online. So how will you know that the student can actually see your message? Is there a notification that will be sent to the student? If, for an instance, you're going to send a message, yes, there is. Okay, so let's just say I will just going to simulate. I will log in here in my PC and I will send a sample message to the student. Let's just say the student is in a standby mode and I'm going to send a message here. Let me just lang. Oh, not that one. Sorry. Okay. So it's still loading here in my end. There you go. So I just have to send, let's just say, this is a sample message. So for example, I'm a teacher and I'm I want to send a message to a particular student. Then and if for example this student is online, then once the teacher send the message, there you go. Did you see it? There's a banner at the top of the phone. It says there's a new message from mySOUL admin. And if you just have to see the notification, there you are. It says you have a new message from mySOUL admin, and it says that this is the sample message. That's the message. So the student will be notified whenever you're going to send a message to them. Okay? So I think in terms of excuses na sir wala na ko na check imong message, wala ni appear or everything else wala na ko na check ang email. If you're just going to require the students or at least not required, tell them that they have to install the Open LMS app. It would be a a great way of communicating because instantly they can see that you send a message to them, not by using Messenger or any other app. I know it works, but you can also use the messaging platform of our current system. Okay, so another sample. There you go. And then I'm just going to send this. And there you go. There's another banner that says there's another message from this particular teacher or for this particular user, and you will eventually see the message. I will go back here to the app and I will check the message. And here we have mySOUL web admin, and it says loading. There you go. Those are the new messages that I just sent just now. So we have, this is a sample message. That was the first message, and you have another sample, the second one, right? So what's really important is that we now have a way of notifying our students if they have the app, that you have a message for them. Any question? You might ask me if are the students, can they be notified if they are offline? Probably not, right? So they will be notified the moment that they turned on the data for this particular app. Notification like the app will show red dot. Yes, sir. Like you have like a flag here. Supposedly there's a flag here, but since ako na lang siyang ikuan, I'm going to send a new message, but that particular flag is not real time. What's real time is the banner. So let me just try this. So I'll just go back here. Okay. And then I will try to send a message. Again, sir, the red flag, are you referring to, like, for example, this, I have an icon here at the very bottom right corner of my phone, the message icon. I have the flag with number 2. If you're referring to something like that, yes, it has a notification like that, sir. But that particular notification is not real time. It would take minutes. The real time notification is the banner. So yeah, I have the banner here, and the flag is not showing up. So it would take time, or it would take minutes for the that particular red dot to show. But eventually it will show, sir. Oh, yeah, there you go. Any question for the messaging part? Let me just go back here. Okay. So that's how you inform your student about something. That's how you reach out to your student if you want to send them a message using the app of the Open LMS application. What's good about this is, like the Messenger, if you want to access messages sent during an online discussion, and if you're offline for an instance and you want to access the conversation, yes, you can still do that. You can still access the conversation using the app, just like Messenger, 'di ba sa Messenger, if you're offline and if you want to check a particular conversation for an instance, you can do that even if you're offline, right? So it's the same with the messaging capability of Open LMS app, right? So
Sir,
yes, ma'am.
pwede ba ni siya for parents too?
Yes, ma'am. If parents have, for example, if they have access to the student account,
Okay. So if ever pwede nato mahatagan ang parents sa account sa student in ana, especially in the junior high na murag
Mm,
based on like mga conferences, common
mm,
problem nato dati is parents don't know or didn't know na naaday mga ingon anang due date. So
mm.
if this can help them also like ma-notify sila na na ade mga inani, so I think maka-help ta in that sense siguro, no?
Yes, ma'am. I think yeah, murag dako gud siya nga help ma'am in terms of the parents checking, especially for SBE for minor students since they need the parental guidance. So murag yeah, ma'am, it would
Yes.
really help them a lot in terms of checking if
Mm.
there are due dates, if there are submissions that needed to be submitted, and then if there are
Yes.
upcoming quizzes or upcoming events and activities. Yeah, this
Mm-mm.
app would be a
Can be a
solution for that. Yes, ma'am.
bitaw. Okay, sige,
Mm.
salamat sir.
You're welcome, ma'am. Okay, any more question? By the way, the session for today really is just about utilizing, is about walking you through on the how the app works. What are the available features of the app? Okay. So if there's no more questions, so far we've discussed about the calendar in terms of reminding due dates and deadlines and upcoming events, and so far we also discussed how messaging works in the application. So next would be the notification. So for the notification, these are just notification based on forums. So if you have forums and then a teacher posted a forum and that forum is for the public, let's just say that forum is for the entire participants of a course or for the entire students, then notifications will be received here, or you can see notifications in this area. So currently I don't have any forums for that matter, so there are no notifications in this part. But this is like a redundant option because if there's a banner, you will also be notified via the banner that hey, a forum was submitted by the teacher or a forum was posted by the teacher. And for an instance, a student will reply to a public forum, a forum wherein you are subscribed, then you can actually see the conversation of the forum. So that's just the notification part. And we will go now to the more options icon at the lower right portion of the app. This one,
Sir,
the yes, ma'am.
ah, sorry kayo sa interruption.
Mm,
Sir, moas lang ko, kaning sa mySOUL chat, mosulod ba pud ani?
this
Example,
is sige, ma'am.
natay message dito sa mySOUL, ay sa atong chat sa mySOUL, and then if naay open LMS ang bata, musulod ra pud ni siya dito and
Ma'am,
vice
correct.
versa.
Yes, ma'am. Correct me if I'm wrong, mama. The My Soul chat that you are referring is kadtong dili tong help nga chat button, ma'am.
Dili katong dapit sa my course katong
Ah,
murag
yeah.
chat icon gyud.
Yes. This is actually it, ma'am, for the application. Murag mao ni siya ang iyang equivalent. So you
Ah.
have for the My Soul platform, you have that button tupad
Mhm.
sa imong name. We have
Mhm.
the message icon, and for the LMS app, you have this one. So it's the
Mm.
same, ma'am. It's the same system.
Okay. So whatever communicate ay example messages dito sa chat mosulod ra pud siya ani and vice versa.
Exactly, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
sige.
Mm.
Thank you.
Sige, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, no. Thank you, ma'am, for that clarification. So now we will go on to more options. If you take a look at the icon at the lower right portion of the phone, you have like three horizontal lines, right? So just tap that one. So how do you set the notifications? By default, mobile notification is not enabled if you download the application. So you have to enable it first. So how do you enable the mobile notification? So from here, again, the red or the three horizontal line at the lower right portion of the application. That's the more option. So you go to that, you tap that particular icon, and then just go to preferences. Okay, preferences. And from here, you have three main options. You have shared files, you have messages, and then you have notifications. So for the messages, you just have to tap the messages. And by default, you can see here that I already enabled email notification preferences. I also enabled the activity stream and mobile. By default, mobile is disabled. So you have to enable it from here. This is how it looks like by default. So you have to enable it from here. And from then, you can now receive mobile push notifications, the one that you see earlier with the banner. So that's how you enable the mobile notification. And you can also set settings for your messages, like for example, if you want to accept messages only from your contacts or anyone from any of your courses, or for example, if you want to receive anyone from the site as long as they are member of the site, then you can do that from here. You also have the option to use enter to send. Like for example, if you are typing, let's just say you're typing a message right here, and then if you're typing a message, the option to send this one is to click, like you have an arrow button at the rightmost side of the field of the text box field. That's how you send it. But if you want that you're going to set it in such a way that, like for example, you're going to use the enter portion of your keyboard to send, then you can do that from here. You can just enable this one, and then let's just say you're going to type something. Then you can use the enter to send. See, in my case, the enter button is the return uh, icon on the keyboard. So it will just basically send the message. You can also do this in the actual platform. So again, that's how you enable mobile push notification. So from the more options icon, let's go back here, more options. You go to preferences and then messages, and you turned on or you enable mobile, because by default that's enable, or that's disabled, sorry. Okay, now also if you want to filter out different notifications, because eventually you will be handling different courses, eventually you'll be handling multiple students, right? So how can you filter out notifications? So as a teacher, uh, again, you just have to go to more icons, and then you go to preferences here, preferences, and then notification. This is where you're going to filter out notifications, or what notifications are you going to receive, right? So you have, again, you have assignment notifications. So basically these are due dates or something like that. And then you have, these are different activities that might send you notifications. So you have dialogue. We have dialogue activities, right? You also have feedbacks. We have forums. Um, we have different sets of notifications that you can enable or disable from this particular option. So it's really up to you what kind of notifications you want to receive. In my case, I just want to receive notifications from assignment, and these notifications are in mobile form and not email. Okay, so you have the option here. Just below the notification, it says mobile. Just choose mobile for that matter, so that you will receive mobile notification for whatever it is that you're going to choose on the notifications preference option. Any question? Wala ra? So there might come a time wherein you're gonna be having a hard time logging into the application. There's actually a hack for that. So I will show you how to log in via the QR code, right? So let me just skip this part for now, and we'll go back to the very first page upon downloading the app. So I'm from here. If you want to log out your application, just click the log out button just below the preferences. So log out, and then just wait for it. Still loading. Okay. Then if you have multiple, for example, if you have multiple accounts, then it will just be displayed here, right? So I'm just going to delete this. So what if you want to log in via the QR code? How does it work? So let me show you this. I'm going to share another screen. Okay. So for you to log in via the QR code, this is how it works, right? So just go to your mySOUL app, or just go to your mySOUL account using a laptop or a PC or a different mobile device, and go to profile here. And from the profile page, you just have to scroll down. Then you have mobile app, QR code for mobile app access. Then there's a button here that says view QR code. So you just have to view the QR code, and then I'm going to share the screen of the app. Okay, let me just stop the sharing here. All right. So let me share the screen. Okay. So I will now go back to the application, and instead of typing the actual website or the actual site of mySOUL, I just have to click scan QR code, and it says where can I find the QR code. It's in the dashboard, your profile in your in the mySOUL account, right? So just click next, and the application is asking to access your camera. Just click OK. So it will basically open up your camera to read any QR code. So I'm just going to read the QR code presented in my account, and there you go. So there. So that's another way in terms of logging into the application. So you can type if you don't know, for an instance, you can't memorize the Soul website, then you can just use the QR code. You just have to open your account, your mySOUL account, to any other device, and then just go to your profile here, uh, from your account in mySOUL, go to profile, scroll down, and just click the button view QR code for you to be presented with the QR code. And then from your phone or from your mobile device, just scan the QR code, and it will basically lead you to your course or to your account in mySOUL. So what are the advantages in terms of using the application? So one great advantage is that, for example, you have an extra time, right? And then you have an assignment that you want to check, and then you don't have enough time to maybe to connect to the internet, or your connection is not that strong in terms of checking the files. So what you can do is, if you are in a location wherein there's a strong connection, what you can do is you can download the entire course, right? So how do you do that? So from the app itself, just go to the upper portion. There's like a more option, and you simply check show download options. So you check this one, show download options, and let's just say you want to download the content of a particular course. You just have to go to the dashboard. So currently we are at site home. So just go to dashboard. And let's just say I want to download the contents of this particular course, PT12 2018-A. So if you notice, right after the name of the course, you have like a cloud with a down arrow. That's how you download the content of this particular course. So you can just click that one, and it will just load, because it would ask you if you really want to download the content of this particular course and the size of the entire course. So let's just wait for it. Downloading again, it really depends upon the size of your course. So if this is a large course, then the downloading part would be much longer compared to courses with shorter sizes. So you are about to download at least this particular size. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. So let's just wait for it. By the way, just to promote, if you want to know more about badges, how badges are created, how can you award badges, we have a video for that. Just check it in our YouTube channel, Silliman Online University Learning. We have a videos in terms of how do you award badges in your virtual classroom. So yeah, that's how you download a particular course, so that whenever you're offline, and if you want to check something, maybe submission of a particular assignment, if you want to edit the grades of a particular activity, then you can do that now because the course is downloaded on the actual device. Okay, so let's just say, for an instance, let's say this course here, it's not yet downloaded, but just for sample purposes. You have an MTech class, right? Now, let's just check for activities. Like for example, I hope you have an assignment here. So there's no assignment. This is just a quiz. Let me just go back. So this is how you check assignments, by the way, in the app. Okay. So like for example, I have this particular assignment, a personal website creation. So if you want to check this assignment using the app, you can just click that one or tap that one, go inside the assignment. And from here, you can see the participants. These are the number of students enrolled in this particular course. Then there are 24 who submitted and 24 who needs grading, meaning you haven't graded this particular assignment yet. Okay, so these are courses, by the way, these are sample courses. So if you want to check who among the students did not submit to this, who haven't made a submission to this particular assignment, you can just go to the participants option, and then there's a remark, right? So from here it says not graded. Those students that have not graded remarks, meaning they submitted to this assignment. We also have students that says no submission. So right, so there you have students with no submission. You have, so from here you can actually see now those students who haven't submitted to a particular assignment. Then you can message them about the assignment. So it's more of like a feedback thing. And if you want, for example, if you want to grade a particular assignment, you just have to go to needs grading, And let's just say this is a student A. So from here, you have two options. You have the submission, you can check the submission, and then you have the grade. So you just have to go to grade and you can input the grade from this part. So it says grade out of 100. Just say it's 100 out of 100. Done and done. So you can do that offline as long as you are able to download the course in your application. So you don't need to access, especially if the content, like for example, in this case, you cannot do that because the content is a website. You have to check the website. But if the content is just a narrative report of something, then you can just read the report and then you can just grade it from there. So the score will be synced the moment that you go back online. So if you have extra time, if you have like 1 hour nga wala may buhaton, and if you want to check maybe your students, or if you want to check a particular activity, if naana ba ni submit ani, then you can just use the app to easily access any activities inside your course.
Sir,
Yes,
que-
ma'am.
question, kinahanglan ba ni siya og dako na storage
Dili ra
or
ma'am.
kanang
Mm.
example in a regular setting na daghan man gyud ang students and then we keep on let's say messaging them, so kay mobile money, di ba ang storage sa phone gamay ra man na siya, mo consume ba ni siya og much
In
storage?
yes, ma'am. In terms of siguro some message part lang ma'am, in terms of messaging, I think it would not take that big storage for just the messaging purposes.
Mm.
But if you have like if you have 10 courses and these courses contains multiple submissions of multiple activities, then that would be a different story, ma'am.
So if example ko mo download me sa amo,
Mm.
di ba we can download man atong courses sa
Yes, ma'am.
atong kan through the app, so kinahanglan gyud ta og bigger storage ani,
Yes, ma'am.
tama?
Mm.
Okay, so maggamit tag micro SD, pwede na siya?
For Android, yes, ma'am. Pwede ra siya, ma'am.
Android?
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
okay, sige, thank you.
All right. Some more question. By the way, as a teacher, you cannot create activities and resources inside the application. So for you to do that, you really have to go to the platform, you create an activity from there, you monitor the activity from the application. You cannot create activities like quizzes, for an instance, assignments or attendance. You cannot create those inside the application. What you can do is you can create the activities and resources on the actual website using an actual browser, and then you can monitor the progress of those particular activities in the application. So Sir Fredly sent the URL for what's this, Sir Fred? Yeah, that's for the YouTube channel. If you want to check videos from other upskilling activities, you can just go there and check the channel. So in terms of using the app, we really have uh, in terms of major feature. The first one is the push notification, meaning the students will now be easily notified if you want to send them a message, or if you have like due dates, or if you have forums posted for the entire students. For instance, you have an announcement, right? The announcement by default is open to all, or I mean, everyone inside the course is locked in terms of subscription to this particular announcement. So if you're going to post an announcement in your course, then they will be notified via the app. if they installed the application. So that's it, the messaging part and the downloading the course part. Because as a student, let's just say you have a limited internet access. So whenever you are in a place wherein there's a high internet connectivity, you can just download the course, and then you can, during offline period, you can read the contents of the course, even if you're not connected to the internet. So those are some of the advantages in terms of using the application. Any question? Wala na?
Sir, good afternoon.
Yes, sir, Larana. Yes, sir.
Um, Sorry, I'm new to this platform.
Mm-mm.
I'd like to ask, is it possible, since you presented earlier, the how to monitor or how to check the submission of assignments or activities, is it possible for a student to see at one glance all missing assignments?
For that, sir, they have to check. Diba, let me show this sir, ha. Like,
Okay,
for
sir. Thank you.
example, if I will go inside the course, and then I have the course calendar, right?
Mhm.
So from the course calendar, if the teacher set, let's just say this is an assignment, and then you have a due date, they can actually see, sir, the red dots from this part. So, but in terms of, there's like a page wherein you can see, let me check here at the home, here at the home screen. Okay, you can also use this part, sir. Like if you are in the dashboard, right? And
Okay.
then you just have to scroll down, then upcoming due dates will be available at the very bottom.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And if you are a teacher, then upcoming activities that needs to be graded will be shown at the bottom also.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Siguro it's best put if we're going to educate our students that by time to time they need to check the calendar activity of the course, because it's really a good help in terms of monitoring if there are due dates for this particular week, or if there are upcoming events or activities for a particular week.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Ani again, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
um, kuan kay ko, unsay tawag ani? Kay I think this would be helpful in our part also.
Mm-mm,
Kuan ba sir, example, we are handling 6 courses
mm-mm.
in a regular setup. Nya kay example, math 9 tanan courses 6. So pwede lang kay example simultaneous among test, so meaning true to all na siya. So example, one Wednesday and then schedule siya 9 to 10 ang amo ang test. Pwede ba na one notification lang and then throughout all the 6 courses?
Uh, since notifications, ma'am, are
I
based
mean,
on
sorry, basig wrong term use. Kana bang usa ka calendar and then these students from all the 6 courses makabalo na tanan? Ana?
dili siya, ma'am. Kay the
Ah,
calendar is course based. So
so mo
whatever course that they're enrolled in, that's the calendar that they can see. So if they are not enrolled
ah,
in this course, they cannot see the calendar of this course also.
okay,
Oo.
sige. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, I have to add, we have a filter
Mm-mm.
for our calendar. So if you take a look at the upper right portion of the calendar, you have
Okay.
two icons, right? The one in the very the corner is the more option with like three dots. So you have the current month and the upcoming events if you want to see it. So let me just go back to monthly view. And then you have the filter. So if you want to filter your calendar events in terms of you just want to see events coming from a particular course, then you can do that. You just have to filter it out from this option. So let's just say if I just want to look at events for mySOUL training course for teachers virtual classroom, then I just have to check this one. And eventually I'm just going to see events for this particular course. And currently, since wala siya event, so wala na siya, blanco na siya. So that's how you filter events in your calendar option. We also have a question from Ma'am Generoso. Good afternoon, sir. Are we limited to one gadget, one account, or we can use? You can use multiple gadgets for one account, ma'am. You can also use multiple gadgets for multiple accounts. So, like for example, in my case, I have one gadget. Then, if you notice, I just have to log out half. Sige, it's lagging out. Let's just wait for it. So you can use one device for multiple accounts. You can also have multiple devices for one account. So from here, we have the add option at the lower right portion, right? So let's just say I have to add another, it's the same. Let's just say it's still soul. That su that soul that su that edu that ph connect to your site. So for security purposes, we really need to use the browser. Cancel. I have to log out because I have to use another uh, credential. Let's just say this is the student credential. And then I'm not sure if I have the password right. And then let me go back here. Open. So it's opening now. So this is just to simulate two accounts in one device. So I'm currently inside the account of the student, right? So the student also has a badge for quiz number one. If you take a look at the list of the accounts in this particular device, I just have to log out first for us to see the list. Just log out. Sir Sumagaysay and Sir Nangan, I will answer your question, sir, after this one. So there you go. So I now have two accounts for just one device. So for example, if I want to log in via my other account, then I can do that. If I want to log in via the student account, then I can also do that from here. So all you have to do is just choose the account, and then it will eventually open up for it will go to the website to authenticate just for security reasons, and then you can use it. So yes, ma'am, you can use one device for multiple accounts. You can also use one account to multiple devices. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we have a question from Sir Sumagaysay, how to delete old messages of previous courses. Sir, in terms of deleting the messages, if you are referring to bulk delete the messages, like for example, if you have conversations from student A, B, C, and D, and if you want to delete at one time those conversations, you cannot do that, sir. We don't have that option. But what we can do is we can delete individually the conversations. But if you have 1,000 conversation, then that would take years. I mean, not years, but it would take hours to delete those conversations. But again, sir, we already raised this concern to our provider, and we haven't had feedback yet about this particular feature. But as of today, we cannot delete bulk bulk conversations. And then we also have a question from Sir Nangan or Nangan. How can we make groups under contacts? So groups under contacts can be created inside the course, right? So just to show you how to create groups, this is how you do it, right? So let me just share my my other screen. Screen one. Okay, share. So let me just go here to the faculty training course for teachers. Let's just say you are a teacher and then you want to create groups. So how do you do that? Inside the course, you can go to users and then in groups, right? Once again, just go to your course, go inside the course, then go to settings and then users and then groups here. So let's just say we're going to create a group and this is a group for mySOUL app simulation. This is the name of my sample group. And then if you notice, sir, upon creating the group, we have an option here that says group messaging. And by default, it's a no. So for you to be able to create groups, which will be displayed in your contacts, you just have to change this from yes. So you are creating a group for mySOUL app simulation, and then you are enabling the group messaging option of this particular group. And then you just have to save changes. So for you to send a message to these groups, there are multiple options. But if you're referring to the messaging platform here, you just have to click the message icon. You go to groups, and then you have, let me refresh, group. Let me go back ha. Wala lang siya ni-appear. Let me just go back here. Let me use a course na lang wherein I'm the teacher. I'm the only teacher. Okay? So from here, groups, users, groups, and create group. And then this is a mySOUL app simulation, group messaging, yes, save changes. Okay, so we now have this group. Because no one is inside the group. So I'm going to add members. So I guess that's what happened. No, I'll just go back here. Nalibog na ko da. I'll just go back here, users, groups. Okay, my group simulation for teachers. Let's just say I will add myself, Jade, and we're going to add also Sir uh, Rika, Sir Nangan, add, and then other group members. So we don't have Lisa, how about Fredly? Okay, we have Fredly here, add. So currently there are three members of the groups. If I'm going to back to groups, so I now have three members. So let me go back here, some messaging option. And then we should now have the group for mySOUL app simulation. So there are four of us sir, in this, or three of us in this particular course. So that's how you create groups under contacts. Okay, you're welcome, sir. Thank you. Any more question? Yeah, I guess if there's no more questions, Sir Fred, do we have a survey for the certificate? Okay. By the way, ma'ams and sirs, kindly fill out the post-webinar survey. Can you, if you just click the link that is currently being posted right now in the chat box, this will serve as, this will serve, okay, this will be used in terms of giving the certificate of attendance in this and participation for this particular webinar, right? So please fill out the form. It's also for us to improve our processes, to improve our upskilling, uh, so that by next time it will be a much better upskilling service, right? So if there's no more question, thank you so much for attending today's session. And I hope you learned something in terms of utilizing mySOUL app. Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome.
Thank you kayo, sir.
You're welcome, ma'am.